Alright, back at it again today. Today's 9th of June. So, it's just been a really slow week. And, I do watch like Ross with Warrior Trading, kind of bounce feedback off of what he's saying. He kind of said the same thing. So today I was really just planning on being green. And unfortunately, I did make a mistake. I can already see where I made the mistake. And because of that, I'm down on the day. Actually, two mistakes. So, eventually I'll learn. Jesus Christ. So, anyways, I was watching SIEN. It was kind of the leading gapper today. Um, the float on this one I can't actually see because it's not on Trade Ideas anymore. But it had a relatively low float. I think like 5 million, 5 million, 6 million, something like that. So, pre-market here, you can see I marked out my chart. So we had a few areas, 260, then I had 290, pretty much 323, 325, and then towards the high of day there was a lot of taps. So tap, 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 kind of hold here, and then some additional taps here. So I put 340 instead of the high of day. And one thing I did notice about this one is if you can see on the pre-market chart, you can see kind of these wicks. You got a big wick here, very obvious wick here, up and then down. So it just seemed like seeing those type of wicks, just I don't know if it's a volume thing or it just like there's no decision. You know what I mean? There's no clear sign who's in control. So on the open, you can see it here. We'll switch back over to the 1 minute right here. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, and you notice we kind of had this first pop here, up and established it, hit that resistance at 324. So that kind of gave me an idea of like where we're at. So on the trend down, we had these red candle, another red candle. I didn't get in at the bottom at 295. I got in at 299 with 200 shares, and then this first area of resistance at VWAP, I just went ahead and sold it all, and I think my execution was very good right here. I mean, I wasn't being too greedy, and I seem to be pretty good at catching somewhat of a bottom and then selling into resistance. Um, I think the only thing that I could maybe improve on is just getting myself in a better position. I'm definitely hesitant on like the risk management. So I only started in with 200 shares here and then just sold all 200 here. Versus yesterday, the approach was kind of like sell half and then wait to see what happens and then sell the remaining. But I'm not above VWAP, so that was kind of my idea of just take it off the table there. And I also felt like I did a good job on this trend down. Normally, what I've done is, I don't know if it's impulsive or what, but I'll end up buying in on these dips. So, I could have potentially bought in here because it was close to my entry here. Um, but it already rejected. So, if it rejects, it's kind of like a confirmation that it'll possibly go lower. And that's exactly what ended up happening. So, on here, I'll zoom out. So 260, I was actually thinking, you know what, this thing has room to go down to 260. Why try to average my position in as it's going down? And that's just from experience. I'll average in too early and then it ends up fading, and now I'm struggling for it to just get back up to break even. So I went ahead and just waited for this thing because I'm like, look, this thing's got to show me that it actually has some momentum to the upside. So here, I was actually looking for the fail at 295. So in this range, you could actually see these wicks I'll try to zoom it in maybe so you can see it, and I'll do this. So here, you got these wicks right there, and that was a sign of rejection. I'm like, well, okay, cool. I pretty much called it, you know. One thing to note as well, this is an easy to borrow stock. So this S here means it's easy to borrow, like shortable. So it automatically has sellers on board if it's easy to borrow. So, you know, once I got this confirmation of this candle here on a pullback, I went ahead and got in again with another 200 shares at the same price, $2.99, and ended up selling right here. What did I sell it at? So this was 10.04. So 10.04, I sold all 200 at 3.09. So I did add, with commissions, I think I was at like 30-40 bucks up on the day. And, you know, I was feeling pretty confident about it. Now, on this dip here, this is where I think I got, I'm not sure how to say it, but I'm used to this push through VWAP and then fade further. So it's like, why did I make the move that I made? And not only that, this was at 10.07. So at 10.07, I guess I was trying to be a little bit more aggressive, and it was kind of stupid, I guess, because one, my execution was in a bad spot. Let me see if I can see it better on the 5-minute. So 10.05, 10.07, yeah, so it looked pretty bullish from this last green candle, and I was, I guess, FOMO, whatever you want to call it, but I was looking for a pullback, which it's not above VWAP. It hasn't had any type of confirmation that it's now bullish and above VWAP. So pullbacks, I think, really only work on above VWAP trades. Just like shortable when you're under VWAP. So you get this big red candle down, right, and you get some pullback. That's a pullback. That's a good entry for a short for the move further down, if you see what I'm saying. So that was just a stupid decision on my part. And not only that, I got greedy, because adding 400 shares here is a sign of greed. And I set my stop loss pretty much at the break of this candle here at 3. It ended up getting me out. So at triggered and closed at 299. So I ended up taking a little loss there on 400 shares. And then the stupidness came in. Bad area, bad execution. It wicked down, came back up. I pretty much got in at almost the same spot. This was at 209 or 1009, I'm sorry. I added 200 shares here, thinking I was being conservative. And then again, looking for the break, at least back up to maybe 315, which again is stupid because it already rejected here. So normally when you get a rejection, when it comes back up to test, it's not going to reach that same level. It's normally going to reach maybe about half, you know, into this area here. It's never really going to reach the full amount here without a decent pullback and then a nice comeback up to retest it. So that was stupid. So bad entry on my part, greedy entry on my part. Ended up getting in with 600 shares. I set a stop loss at 295, which is below this wick here. This was a low, 296. And I think my stop was pretty reasonable. However, when I got this confirmation here, when it wicked down and really was bullish and moved up, it was sitting at 310, 312. And my thought process was, okay, I got in, I have 600 shares at an average price of $3.06. I did not think that 4 to 6 cents was enough, which was stupid. Because looking back on it, it's just in hindsight, bad execution, good price target. So it really didn't matter that I got in at $3.06. If I got in at down here at 296, this would have been a great area, and I would have sold the full position. So it's just bad entry, which kind of gave me the doubt and the hesitation to sell at 312. So I guess it is what it is. And sure enough, I had my stop loss set as a market order. It triggered here at 295 and ended up getting me out at 290. So I ended up taking 16-cent loss on 600 shares. So yeah, ended up down on the day. Again, it's always the struggle fighting commissions. So I'm down $107.29. And yeah, I'm like, you know what? This thing is easy to borrow. It's shortable. This thing's probably going to be fighting sellers all day on any type of pops. So, you know what? I don't want to add any more losses to the position. If it's not a good day, it's just not a good day, and you need to know when to walk away. So, as tempting as this is on the curl back up for another push, I have to walk away, because if not, I'm going to be tempted, or I can switch to my simulator. So other than that, guys, that was my trade on today. I'm taking another loss on, again, direct reflection of me. I lost because of my actions and my decisions. So, you know, this is the result of it. I'm paying for it, literally. So, all right. If you guys have any comments, anything you guys would like to add, feel free. Any questions, feel free. And I'll see you guys on Monday. All right, later.